my microphone is on. Bear with me as I just do some testing. Yeah, it is. Okay. Switch my screen here. And hopefully everyone can see that. So yeah, so I just wanted to do a live stream, just kind of what I'm working on as I'm just like playing around with Moho and understanding how Moho 13 works and frame by frame and all that. I have a few animations I've been creating as well. But yeah, hey Mobile. So I just wanted to show kind of what I've done so far. So this is an apple that I did, and this is just using, I can't remember what brush it was, but as you can see there, it has the different textures on the apple itself. There's apple, let's see, let's hide this one. So yeah, just using the different brushes, and they have pretty cool textures, different types of textures, and a lot of fun to mess around with. Bear with me just a moment, I needed to get this window up. Okay, where did the, okay. So here's something that I animated frame by frame, and this is in Moho, Moho 13. So this is using the new Bitmap option. I think the brush that I used for this one, if I can select it here, it was an ink brush, fresh ink. So this was just a little animation that I created. Originally was trying to do like a fish, but didn't quite turn out to be a fish. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. The really smooth. Like I said, there's no lag, there's no latency. Kind of like in the video yesterday, it all works pretty nicely. So for those of you who are watching, if you have any questions, feel free to ask if there's like something that you'd like to see. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of run through what I've discovered yet so far. So yeah, so here's the apple. So there's a few different layers. I'll just kind of walk through the process of how I did it. So I first just laid down the base layer, just your base color. And then on top of that, I put in some shadow, some shading. And this is done with, if I go back to the bitmap, this here was the, it should be the, I think it was, let's see here. Yeah, multiply. It looks like it's not showing the actual blend modes, but that was done with multiply. And then I added some highlight on there with some overlay, and then put in some more highlight, and then I don't know what this will. Oh, just some details of, I guess, what would go on an apple. It would have been helpful if I referenced the apple a little bit better there. But for this one here, this one was just let's see which brush this one was. So again, I have the same thing. I just have the base, and it looks like it was, I want to say it was ink. No, it wasn't ink. No, it wasn't draw. But there was a splatter brush in here somewhere. Let's go to all. Let's just see if we can figure out where it was here. But like I said, there's a lot of cool brushes in here. There's a lot that you can do with this, which is really nice. And I cannot find the brush that was used there. But yeah, so let's go into the next little demonstration here. Okay, so here's the actual brushes that I used. So again, just the same type of little apple thing, just trying the different brush strokes. There's some texturing there in the background. And yeah, pretty cool brushes there. Here is a bitmap that I drew. So this was drawn on frame 0. And then I just took it and I animated the layer itself on, as you can see there, just to create this little bouncing effect. So that was a lot of fun. Mobile says, I've been animating a character and setting some smart bones accidentally froze all the bones. So when I try to animate the character in the timeline, the bones do not move. I need your help on how to move on. Go through and delete. So, okay, for anybody who's watching this, if you're creating smart bone actions, never hit Control F or freeze your bones or have auto freeze keys on. Because what Smart Bones does is it overrides anything and everything that is related to a bone or to a point or anything like that. So if you have a Smart Bone dial or a Smart Bone action rather that is that has a keyframe, it's going to keep that keyframe on no matter what on your main timeline. Ow. Sorry, my dog is clawing on my leg. Wants attention. So yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind there. Go through. Let me see if I have something here. Okay, so here's an animation of a run cycle. So go to your actions, and I think I have something on like his leg. So you'd go to his leg, so it's B38, B38. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that when I hit Control A, or let's see, let's just try this. So I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to hit Control, I think it's Control I. Okay, so I'm going to select every other bone besides that bone. So as you can see there, nothing is showing up in that red animation channel. So if something else was showing up in that red animation channel besides this bone, that's where you're screwing yourself over, because now you're keyframing other bones that you don't want to keyframe. So never hit Control F. Hope that answers your question there. So yeah, so this was just the bitmap animation that I did. Pretty cool little apple. Go ahead and close that. And then a ball animation. This one is one that I did of a frame-by-frame ball with some, I don't know, just some additional effects. I think I just started out, let's see. So as you can see there, when you create frame-by-frame, you are going through your timeline and you are adding, basically, if you think of switch layers, you're adding switch layers, but you're not doing it manually. You're doing it all here in the timeline. So as you create a new frame, it's creating a new frame here inside of your, if you want to call it like a switch group, inside of that switch group. So, but from here, from the switch layer time, or from this timeline, I can go through and I can select any one of those and change them as I want. Here's another one I did. Same thing with the ball. I've always used Moho, and Moho was the first software I learned animation. So I learned the principles of animation. I understand more timing and all that, but my drawing skills aren't quite up to snuff. I've come to rely on the drawing tools of Moho quite heavily. Therefore, my freehand drawing has lacked greatly. But this is just kind of showing just kind of my understanding of timing. And as you can see there, it's not quite perfect in terms of like its volume and things like that. So there's a lot to keep in mind. But it's very difficult going from a vector base to more of a traditional frame by frame. And so I'm just trying to train myself on how to do that better. Because it's quite enjoyable and it's liberating and freeing, or whatever you want to call it. It's relaxing. It's a good relaxing, kind of like if you're painting. The only thing with frame by frame for me, and this is why I went with Moho and what actually got me into animation, is I remember I tried drawing like frame by frame, like as a kid, and I just don't have the patience for it. And unfortunately, that came with me as an adult. I just don't have a patience for frame by frame. So here's another one that I did of a tree, of a ball that falls and it turns into a tree. Very rudimentary, very bad as far as the timing and everything. But again, just testing my hand at some frame by frame here to understand how it all works. Because now the thing that you got to realize is this is all just one color. Going back to the, I think it was the ball, or I don't know, I think that was just all one color too. But now if I wanted to do frame by frame animation, this is why it's kind of always been a turn off for me. If I wanted to do anything frame by frame and it has multiple colors or shading or shadow or any type of highlights, I have to do that manually, by hand, frame by frame, which is, if for those of you that understand how timing works, that's why they animate on ones or two, or that's why they animate on twos and threes rather than on ones. So instead of animating every single frame, you're animating one time for 2 frames or one time for 3 frames, and then you're going to the next one. So 3, 6, 9. But in this case, it starts at 1, so it'd be like 1, 4, 7, etc. So yeah, that was just another one that I did. This one, what I wanted to do in the stream is I wanted to maybe try some dirt clouds or some action lines or something, and that's what we were gonna do with this one. But I'll just keep that off to the side there. Oh, and then there was this one. I think I already showed this, but for those of you that are watching this, just another one. Just I don't know if anybody's tried to do a wave animation, but it's kind of difficult. There's kind of a lot to get your head wrapped around as far as how this would work. But there's a pretty good tutorial on there. I think it was by A&B Animation that goes over this as far as how to create that wave effect. Or maybe it wasn't A&B. It was showing like a strand of hair and how it was done from, I think it was a book that was written and how it was done. So I just started with that hair piece and then just kind of added to it. And like I said, so this is a better example of, with frame by frame, painstakingly going through and animating every single frame. It's not my forte, and it's not exactly what I like, but yeah, that's just kind of that. So let's try our hand at this. Let's try our hand at some frame by frame with this character here. I think that will be pretty fun. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna put this in my other window here. Oh my gosh, puppy, stop it. Oops, sorry, hit my microphone. And let's do this. Let me fix my screen again here. Let's see, add image source, video capture device. Okay. See if I can get this to work. See if I can maybe get my video on here, and it doesn't look like it's wanting to do that. That's all right. So you'll just be looking at my screen, which is fine. It'll just be a disconnected stream here. Okay. Hey William. Hey Nick. It's good to see you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's give this a try. So I've not done dirt frame by frame or anything like that before, but I think it'd be cool to do like motion lines and dirt or just different types of things, and we'll just see how it works out. Again, this is a very fast run cycle, so there's not gonna be too many frames to work with, which is especially why I picked this animation to try it out with. So I was just gonna do this in my free time, but I figured I would stream the process and just kind of show you guys more of Moho 13. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to let's go to frame 0, and let's create a frame by frame image. And I want to make sure this is actually 1920 by 1080, and it isn't. So let's go ahead and bump that up to 1920 by 1080. Make sure constraint is off, or I guess constraint can be on. I'm thinking of something else. Okay, so there we go. There's that guy. I'm gonna go ahead and hide all of his bones so those don't get in the way. So hide selected bones. Cool. All right, so now we got our animation there. And let's go ahead and go into frame 0. Let's do frame by frame image, and we'll just call this one dust because I don't know what it's going to be. Choose folder. Let's see, choose folder. Ford, come here. Ford. Sorry, my dog. He likes to chew on stuff, as puppies do. Ah, dang it. Bear with me just a second. Okay. So let's go ahead and so I have my Wacom tablet. So it's pretty essential that you have some sort of tablet to draw with in order to create frame by frame, or else you're gonna be really struggling if you're trying to do this with a mouse. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to a contact position. So somewhere where like the dirt will be hitting over top of his feet. And then I have the dust cloud above that layer. And let's go ahead and let's just zoom in here. And let's first pick a brush. So I'm gonna mess with the brushes a little bit here. Pick a color. Let's do like a darker brown. Let's bring the opacity up. Let's do like a dirt. Okay. And if you see this, if it looks pixelated, that is because I'm zoomed in. Or actually, you know what? I think this is because I have a different setting on top of a different setting. Yes, I do. So I'm actually zoomed in the wrong way. So let's try this. So I'm going to delete. Let's see. Do I delete that? Project settings. Okay, so that's 1920 by 1080. I think what is essential is to have your... Yeah, that's probably it. Let's zoom this out. So remember, bitmap is different than vector. Vector uses math so that you can zoom in infinitely, pretty much. Whereas bitmap, it's like print. If you print out a piece of paper with ink from an ink printer and you put it on your magnifying glass, you're going to see the little dots and little stipples that was used to create that particular image. So the closer that you go inside of your bitmap, the more pixelated it's going to be. So I highly recommend that when you're animating, that you animate with, does it give me settings? Let's see, how does this work? Nope, not there at least. That when you're animating, that you animate at 1920 by 1080 and you, I don't even know how to see the settings. I'll have to figure that part out, but yeah, I can't find the settings. But I'm pretty sure after you maybe create that, the settings aren't adjustable. I have no idea. So as far as this, let's go, let's first create a ground. Sorry, I need to create a ground for his feet so I can better have a reference of where to put the dust. Let's go back to frame 1. And let's create a vector layer. And that's weird. Everything's being created in like little boxes up top. Shoot. Okay, hopefully that doesn't affect anything. So I'm just going to create a point right there for, yep, that looks pretty good. And I'll do another one for down there. Okay, there we go. Now I have something to reference, and I'll just bring the width down and the stroke color. It's not too crazy. Okay, and we'll put that below. All right, so now I have a reference for the dust and where his feet are going. So I'm gonna go first this first foot here. Let's go like this. And let's go ahead and let's see if the dust was moving. So if he was putting his foot down, the cloud, I don't know, let's just try it. I'll stop talking and we'll just do it. Not really sure. Whoops. Not really sure how this would work. So I'm trying to figure out how to draw a straight line because shift is apparently how you use the color picker, and I don't want to use, oops, I don't want to use a color picker. Dang it. I just erased what I just did. I want to learn how to do a straight line because I cannot draw one for the life of me. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Let's see, let's use the paint bucket. Does that work? Nope. I don't know how the paint bucket works. I'm guessing I have to have all the pieces connected. Let's try that again. Okay, cool, good enough. All right, and we'll just fill that in there. Oh, you know what? I forgot to create this as a new frame. Shoot. Let's see if it still works. Nope. So where does it put that? Okay, it puts it anywhere besides the frame I just created. So I think I got to create another new frame, and then I can slide it over. I'm gonna use my mouse. Frame. This is the part that's kind of confusing, is the actual timeline thing here. Okay, so that didn't work. So I'm just gonna delete that, and we're just gonna. So what it did is it created, because I didn't create a new frame, is it created it on the actual design frame, which is frame 0. And if I tried to erase this, let's just go ahead and delete all these because I don't know what that is. Let's go back to frame. So this is where I would use reference, but I'm just drawing this off the cuff here, just kind of showing you the tools as well. I have no idea what a dirt cloud looks like when you step down on it in a cartoon type setting. So we'll go back there. I'm guessing there would be like dirt that would come up here in the front. I don't know. And then we'll just drag it out. So the fill, oh, I have my opacity at 100. Might be the brush. Let's pick a new brush. Let's do all. What was the brush that I was using that I liked? It was just a solid one, simple liner. There we go. So now we just got a solid brush there. And there we go. That looks a lot better. All right. Except that dirt cloud doesn't look quite so good. I wonder if I can change the opacity on the actual layer, because that's what I was planning on doing, was just changing the opacity down. All right, so let's pretend he's running in mud rather than dirt, because that'll be fun. Okay, so we'll do this next. So as far as effects, I'm not the greatest at effects, but let's use our, let's pretend like this splashed out, so maybe it is mud. And so the particles are going up there. I have no idea. And then okay, so those just kind of came out of nowhere, but let's kind of be consistent here. So let's pretend like they were there. Okay, so now this part of it, I guess, will kind of die off as far as the splashing part of it. Again, I don't know. So we'll do maybe something like this. And then it's going to kind of have, it's going to have an arcing motion. So let's pick a new pose here. Let me figure out where this would go. So we go, maybe it would fly off somewhere out here into an arc. So I'm just going to create a new keyframe, and we'll move our old thing there. Okay. I'm guessing something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't really know. Gosh dang, Ford, can you be any more louder? My puppy is being kind of obnoxious right now. Good old puppies. Okay, so we'll do like a little splash here on this pose. So maybe he's just hitting the ground. Yeah, I think with frame by frame, the thing is you want to be consistent, and I'm not being consistent whatsoever. Like, there's just new crap, just new artifacts coming up each time I go to a new frame here. So that's not quite ideal to create a believable frame by frame. And then you got to take it into, once I get this going, I'll have to see like what the timing is even, because then you got to take that into account as far as your spacing and your timing for whatever it is that you're creating. So if he was flipping his foot up, I'm guessing with my not even using a reference, but just limited knowledge, that you would have some sort of, I don't know, some sort of, hold on. There's like a touch feature on here or something on my tablet. Make sure that's off. Getting weird results here. This tablet is really bad, or it's my, oh, whoa. I think I might have, by having my setting at 720 and then moving it up to 1080, might have messed something up. Ooh, that looks terrible. That wouldn't work. It would be further back, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be much further back. By this point, it would be like back somewhere here. All right, I'm going to erase that. So let's try, so splash. Don't like the way that frame looks. Let's just kind of continue it there-ish. See, I'm trying to take the same concept that I was doing with the tentacle, with having kind of like the effect. That was like the first one I did, with like having like the effects kind of fly off. Just like the goo or whatever was on the tentacle. But this, see, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but let's go to this frame here. Dang. How would that back part go? I'm trying to think how that back part would go. Once it flies off past the foot, I know it would kind of arc because you got like your foot flipping the stuff, but maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would only flip off if there's like mud or something on that foot as it's flipping off. I'm not entirely sure. Let me pull up a reference really quick, because that could probably save me. Let's do, let's see, how the heck would I even show dirt effect? Running dirt effect. I have no idea even how to search for this. Shoot. Let's see. Running dirt animation. I have no idea. I don't even know how to search for this. Videos. Okay, here's this guy. How to animate dust dirt. Let me pull that up. I'll just pull this up into a separate window here. And I'll turn off the audio. And I'll just see what this guy does, because this thing's only... Oh, he's using After Effects. Oh, crap. That's not going to help me. I need to know how to do it, like... from a... dang it. I don't know. All right. Let's just keep going with it, because I don't really know what... I've never done this before. Let's see. So we got frame, and then no frame here. So we'll just kind of keep that going out. Wow, my tablet. I needed to disconnect this thing and then connect it again. It's so old. I would say if you're doing that, if you're wanting to get into frame by frame animation, make sure you have a decent tablet that's not 8 years old. All right, what the heck? Okay, let's try that. That's a little bit better. You know what? Let's try this again. I'm going to just do a revert. So we have our regular animation. I'm going to do the project settings, 1920 by 1080. Hit OK. All right, so we have that. Then I'm going to go into the frame by frame image. Make sure that's the same. And we'll just call this dirt. We'll choose the folder. Cool. Okay. And it still has an offset. I wonder why that is. So it looks like, because if I try to draw in this, let's just paint it. Yeah, see, it's off. That's weird. I wonder if it's because I'm bringing in a project from Moho 12? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Sorry guys, bear with me. I gotta figure out why this would be doing this. Don't save. Open. Okay, let me pull up a new file again really quick here. Let's do. Oh, does this have any animation on it? This is very early. No, this does not have any animation on it. Let's see here. Run cycle. This one might do. Nope. What the heck? Where's the ones with animation on it? I know I have like a strut or something. Oh, where was that? I was working with it yesterday. Oh, $1 billion strut. Okay. Okay, so this is at, this is at like 600 by 600. 800 by 800. Dang it, that's not gonna work. I think I want to bring in a project that doesn't have any. Dang it. Any changes to the Nope, that's the no. This is the original one. Yeah, this is the start file. Do I have the run in here? Nope. Shoot. Well, let's do this then. Let's just stick with the ball, the good old classic bouncing ball, because at least that I know how to animate. So sorry about that, guys. We're just gonna do the ball. So frame 0, frame by frame, image, ball, and we'll choose the folder. And we don't want to put it in that folder. Okay, here we go. So now we're just gonna do a ball. And my project settings were already jacked up. Why does it keep on defaulting to this? Gosh dang it. Save as defaults. Okay. And that still didn't do anything. Sorry. I'm trying to match the project settings to the actual frame by frame. Because it's, okay, so there we go. 1920 by 1080. We'll delete this one. Don't save. And we'll do frame by frame, because I think this is making either my tablet is crapping out on me or something's not set up properly. It might be the inconsistency between the project settings. There we go. Yay. Okay, don't make that mistake that I made. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw out a surface to have the ball bounce on. And we'll do a ball with like effects and stuff like I was showing in the example before. So we'll go to the brush tool. Let's open up our actual bitmap color. Let's open this guy. And let's take a look at some of these settings as well, because something feels off. Okay, so that looks kind of okay. Let's see, we got smoothing, spacing. Yeah. I have my anti-aliasing off. I don't think that matters for, no, that doesn't matter for bitmap. Whoops. Options. Let's see, is smoothing doing anything? Okay, there's smoothing, and with no smoothing. Huh, I'm not sure what smoothing does. I think I saw that question in there somewhere. Okay, so let me go ahead and we'll just create a bouncing ball. So we'll do, go to frame 1, and we'll create our frame, and we'll put it right here. And we'll see if we can do like some shading and stuff on it. So I'm going to lock the transparency. I'm going to go down to a little bit of a darker color. I can't really see what color I'm choosing here, but good enough. So I have nothing to blend it with. I'm not even using anything to blend. And I'm not using a mode either, or not a mode, but a blend mode. So this is not going to come out quite as nice as I would want it to, but there's that. And then we'll do that. Okay, so we'll keep that so that we at least have some sort of shading on this ball. And this is where I'll show you where it gets pretty time consuming to animate this type of same ball frame by frame. So I'm just going to stick with the base ball. The baseball color, the base color of the ball was this color, I believe. It's not selecting anything. Let's knock our opacity back up. Okay, that's not doing anything. Oh, I locked the transparency. Okay. And we'll do a new frame, and we'll turn our onion skin so we can see what the heck we're doing. And whoa, okay. What is going on? All right, let's keep the volume the same. Ish. And then, so we got their 2 positions there. The other ball is a little bit bigger. I wonder if I can shrink it. No, I can't shrink the ball itself down, I don't think. Not without shrinking a huge chunk of everything else. Yeah, no, that won't work. So yeah, so if you want to shrink it down, it doesn't look like we have those tools quite yet. So we have a eraser, we have a fill bucket, but we don't have anything to like select the actual layer. So that's something I noticed to shrink down. So, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those things, if the community requests it, then we will definitely be able to have that as a feature as well. Okay, so we just got that. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to push this out to about there. And let's pick a, again, I don't know what my timing is going to be, and this is so hard with this timeline. I really don't like this switch layer timeline. It's confusing as crap to me. So let's try this again. So we got this, and I'm just going to lay down a middle frame somewhere. Okay, there it is. And we'll keep our onion skin on. And I'll just pick, let's see, like the middle part of the animation, probably somewhere right there. Why does that look so choppy? Nope. Sorry. So this is not probably the software. This is probably my tablet. My tablet is very old for those watching. Oops. And you know what? I want to do a squash and stretch. And I'm going to, how do I zoom out with keyboard shortcuts? I don't know how to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go something like this. Okay. So we got that, and we got that, and then we got that. So that's not quite the middle. So this is going to be kind of like the slow out. So that's not quite the middle there. Or slow in, rather. Okay, so what I'll do is from here, I will just draw the in-betweens. So I'll draw one more in-between in between these two. So, oops. So it'll still kind of be, oh my gosh. Maybe something like that. And then we'll do another in between. And it'll be something like this. It should still have like a little bit of a stretch to it, but my volume is really jacked up right now. So I'm not going to really worry about that. And then we got maybe something like right about here. Okay, so we got that slowing in effect. Again, it's not perfect, and you can see it's kind of changing shape there. But then we got, as it goes back down, so we got our middle. Let's see, where do I want this going? Okay, so just right before it hits the ground, let's go ahead and let's create, oh, you know what? This is gonna be, oh, I kind of messed that up. That ball is never really gonna be just a circle like that. Unless, it will at the top, but down here it's gonna be squished. So I messed that up. But anyway, let's try this. Let's go, wait, so it's gonna go, no, that's not gonna work. It's gonna stretch. I need to figure out how to create a squash. I'll have to pull out these keyframes and create something behind this. So this is gonna be stretching up because it just hit the ground. Maybe it goes from that shape into this shape. And we'll go, let's see. Something like here. And again, I'll probably have to move these keyframes around. The spacing is already kind of interesting, as you can see there. So if I play this back, let's go ahead and hit Alt. How do I right click on a stylus? Dang it. Whoa, it's starting from, okay. So we want that to go up, and then we want it to go back down. So what I'm gonna do, and again, I want the down to be a squash. I don't want it to be a solid ball shape there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create a new frame, and I'm just gonna copy and paste that keyframe. Cool, it does copy and paste. That's nice. I was kind of chancing that right there. Let's see. Okay, so that looks kind of all right. So then we're gonna go and we're gonna create 2 of our onion skins there. And I just created a bunch of dots. Where did I just create that on? Oh, where's that frame? I have no idea where those dots were just created on. I can't click on anything right now. That's weird. Okay, there's that. Where did those dots go? Okay, there's that. Oh. Okay. Okay, whoops. Let's delete that. Okay, so we got this position, and then we got just an additional keyframe there. Let's just go ahead and delete that. Oh, that was my center keyframe. Okay, so we got the middle position of the ball. Now it's like clay at this point. Because that's the thing for me, I am kind of impatient when it comes to frame by frame. It's very time intensive, and that's why I love Moho. But I am going to get better at this, and I'm going to probably use frame by frame for like motion effects mostly. Probably not so much traditional animation. I don't think I have it in me to do it the traditional way. What about you guys? Anybody here a traditional animator? Sorry, I wasn't really looking at chat. This is kind of hard to do at the same time. 2D FX Duster. Oh yeah, 2D effects. Duh, that's what it would be. Hey, CalArts. Another slow day at work, huh? Well, here is a incredibly fascinating live stream for you to watch. Okay. And then we're going to go one more keyframe. And it's going to be, let's make it really long. Totally losing our volume there, but whatever. So the thing about animation, when you're doing, especially when you're doing traditional animation, is you're doing a lot of like rough drawings. Okay, so right now my timing is awful, and the spacing is not so great either, but it's mostly the timing. So what I'm going to do is with this just first part right here, I'm going to, so right here, I'm just going to go ahead, I'm just going to pull these back, and I'm also going to pull this back because this is my top position there, and I'm going to go ahead and lengthen that out a little bit. Okay, so I have this position, and these are pretty close. That motion would be pretty close, but then it gets to there. And then this forward, no, do not bark. Sorry, anybody that knows a Chihuahua, they like to bark. And this one, we're training not to. Come here. If I hold him, he doesn't bark. Okay. Let's see. Let's do. So I'm actually going to hold these keyframes out. Oh shoot, how do I do this with this? I cannot remember. Okay. Is it, I push that and then I pull that? Okay, wow, that's so confusing. Okay, then this right here, all this is going to be slow. It has to be slow. So I'm going to hold these again for about another, oh, what the heck? Okay. Let's see if I can pull multiple back. Okay, I can, cool. So this is going to be there. Whoops. Whoa. Okay, so I'm missing, yeah, I need to add a keyframe there. Come on, forward. So let's go there and there. So we got boop, nothing there. Oh wait, did I do the wrong one? I think I did. So got the ground up there, and then we got that. So we need to add something in between there. There's a pretty significant gap between those two. So we'll put there, and we'll erase those. Okay, so I'll just put another in between right there. Okay, so we got that. Ford, stop it. Okay. Oh wait, what the heck? Oh man, somehow I dragged my keyframe wrong, because I did have that keyframe. Okay. Let's do. Yeah, so I need to delete that keyframe and move everything back over. Oh, dang. How does that work? Okay, so if anybody's watching this, does this not seem confusing to you with this timeline? I do not understand how this works. It's so confusing to me. Okay, so it goes back down, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, so we got a little bit better of the timing of what I was trying to do there. Okay, so it goes there and then up. So this probably, oops. That probably doesn't need to be held so long. So it goes up. Where's our main position? So what I like to do is I actually like to highlight my contacts, like label them. It makes it really easy to find out where things were at. And then we'll do boom. So I'll just bring that back to red. Okay, so there's my contacts. So now it's easier to see the spacing on my keyframes. to get the timing better. So we got this, that, and then that, that. So all this is kind of close, so we can kind of have these close as well. I'm gonna highlight all those. Okay, that's not quite what I was looking for. So I need to bring the, dang, is it this? Let's see if anybody commented about the timeline. They really need an extend frame option. Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. Clicking and dragging the little bars sometimes replaces one of the frames with another. Oh, yes. Most definitely. Yeah, it gets so stinking confusing. Ford, chill. You're okay. You're okay. Don't bark. Hey. Shh. I might have to go on mute for a little bit if he goes a little crazy here. And it sounds like he's about to start up. Ford, stop. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. It's just kids playing outside. Okay, so there's that. And then we got, so I want kind of like a slow out. So I'm going to pull this. And then that. Whoops. Am I missing a keyframe? I might be missing a drawing there. Yeah, most definitely. Unless it's, I don't know, it's going down fast. So let's just see. Nope. Okay, so the timing's really weird. So could be the spacing as well. So that's the thing that's tricky with animation. There's two parts of it. There's your timing and there's your spacing. And when you get into traditional animation, it's even more confusing. At least to me it is. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to pull these keyframes back. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up that I'm not seeing right now. But I'm going to pull those keyframes back, and I'm going to create a squash for the position before the contact position. So I'm going to go to here. And I'm just going to pretend that the ball came down, crashing down, and now we're in a squashed position. I'm using a very thick brush because this is very rough. Wow, that does not look right. That looks like a pizza dough that just flew through the air and landed on the ground. So we'll shrink that brush down a little bit so I have a little bit more control. Okay, so maybe something like that, probably. Again, with Moho, what you can do, what's so cool, is you can take the layer itself, hold down Shift, and you can resize the scaling of that layer. And it's going to, let's add it in between in there maybe. I don't know, maybe there's not enough time. But you can resize the scaling so that it's uniform. Whoa, what the heck was that? Oh no, did my keys not change back? What the heck just happened? Okay, so, boop. This looks stupid. All right, let's copy that keyframe after so I can just see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks like claymation. Look, I made some stop motion, you guys. That's what I did. Frick. Okay, let's just, whoa. Did I not have that go back to the ground? I totally thought I did. What? I just lost my, oh. Okay, figured it'd be that way. I'll do it the easy way too then. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna copy and paste my freaking keyframes. Son of a gun. See, I moved something. I was holding down Alt because I'm used to other keyframes and how you're supposed to move them around. So this alternative way of doing it is a little confusing to me. I'll get the hang of it, but hopefully, this is very old. This is switched layer timeline. So hopefully we can get this changed up specifically for And I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me for switch layers either. Different set of keyframes or timeline would totally make sense. Okay, I think this is the last one. Nope. Got one more. Oh my gosh. I forgot that I'm not adding a new frame. Okay, so we got that. That might work. It's a little fast, so it might not, but oh, dog. He's clawing at my leg with his sharp little puppy nails. Okay. Okay, that kind of works. All right, I can make that work. I can definitely make that work. So let's go. Okay, so up, down. So let's just, dang it, keep on doing Alt. Okay, let's do that. So this is another thing too. I've been doing a lot of lip syncing lately with switch layers, and that whole concept made a little bit more sense as far as lip syncing and how it works. But shoot. Okay, that's very fast. So this needs to have a little bit more hang time. So I'm going to pull these keyframes back. Okay, and then that drops pretty fast. So maybe I think I just need to add, let's see, there. I need to add another in between just to kind of make that look a little bit better. Okay, so this, I cannot see if either the keyframe's moving or if it's just pushing it over. I'm guessing because it's pushing it over because it's highlighted. My goodness. Okay, so you have to pull everything else behind it out. Confusing. Okay, so we'll do a frame there and a frame there, and we will. Whoops! What the heck? So that's there and that's there. What? Did I not create a new keyframe? My new keyframe moved back. Okay, so let's move it forward. No. That's not what I wanted either. Okay. That's what I wanted. So I wanted a blank keyframe here. Okay, there it is. I guess I just created an additional one by accident. Okay, so right here is, I just want to create a little bit of something else. It wouldn't be stretching that far quite yet. Oops. Oh, let's hope I got that. Okay. So we'll do like something like that. For the 19 of you that are watching, thank you. This is probably not the most interesting thing to watch on a Sunday afternoon. But I am walking through a little bit of the frame-by-frame tools because I'm still learning them myself. So let's pull that back. And we'll do that. And we'll do this to here. And we'll do one more frame. And let's actually have this frame. No, that'll be a slow out. I want to do probably right. No, that doesn't work. Right here. We'll see. And again, this is the tricky thing about frame by frame. If it doesn't look right, you can't just move the layer. At least right now you can't. You have to go back and just redraw it, which doesn't make it easy. Okay, so now we added a couple more frames. So now I need to fix my timing again. So we got this to there. So that doesn't need to be so long. Whoops. So we got that to there. And now that it's dropping, we can move that in because it's going a little bit faster. And I don't know how to move that in. What the heck? There. I don't know how to move this thing in. So one, I just don't know. There we go. I have to squish everything else into it. And then we'll do one more. Whoops. These two, squish those in. there. And technically that should just like kind of squash right away, but because I set that as my main default ball, we'll just use it. So now we have this. Okay, and then there's a huge freeze up here. So let's see. That's a very long pause. Let's go ahead and push that in. Ah, now I'm starting to get it a little bit. It's just confusing as heck. Oh, you know what? If I right click, there's a select keys to the right. I totally forgot about that option. I was using that for lip syncing as well. Okay, so I don't have to go and select and drag it. I just got to go to the next frame over. Select keys to right. There we go. I forgot about that. Whoops, something happened. My hang time has gone away. So let's select keys to the right and let's pull it. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's cut that end animation there. Dang it. Yeah, that's not quite there. There. My spacing is probably off quite a bit, which makes the timing a little bit more difficult. But that's just my inexperience with frame by frame is what it comes down to. And usually making mistakes on video and especially on live while you have others watching you is pretty common. But let's see, it just needs to slow in. That's what it needs. There's something about it as it's going up. It holds, and I don't want it to hold. I want it to slow in. So maybe I have basically two positions right here. Now I'm just going to delete this one. So I'm going to select this keyframe and this one. And I think if I remove this and I just draw it in between the two, that we're going to see something a little bit better. A little bit, not. So now the drop is it needs something after that to hold it in a little bit longer. Oh no. Gotta make sure I don't do that. I have to switch back to my mouse because I do not know the keyboard shortcuts on a stylus for this stuff. So I'm gonna go new layer. And on this new layer, we'll create a circle there. Okay. Okay, so something is funky. So it goes up. Oh, I need to, let's see. Man, I wish I knew what the keyboard shortcuts were for my stylus. Drag that out, probably 2. Okay, and then it comes down with kind of a lot of force, so we could probably adjust the timing just a little bit so it's not too fast. So pull that out, and we'll pull that frame back, and we will play that out. Oh, now it's too floaty. Dang it. So I want it to kind of float down from the top, so it's kind of got that hang time, but I don't want it to chill too high up there for long. Yeah, let's knock this back, or forward rather, and we'll knock this one forward, and this one forward. I don't know what I did, but somehow I messed up my timing. I think it's because I wasn't paying attention to where my animation actually ended. Yeah, that was probably it. So let's cut the animation off right there. Still really slow from here. So let's, this is so confusing. Let's hit select keys to right, push that in. Nope, not there. Select keys to right, I meant to do that. Well, that's the, no, dang it. Select keys to right. I'm trying to figure out with this confusing timeline where I need to move things around. Okay, so the squish, so it goes into that position. Let's cut that off there. That's kind of close. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Um, Let me take a look at the comments here. See if you guys, do you guys have any questions specifically about the frame by frame drawing tools? It's kind of why I'm showing it, not to show my terrible frame by frame animation skills, but to but to show you the actual frame by frame capability. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll go over it as well. Yeah, KLRT, you're right. There's still quite a lot of there's a lot of in betweens I could still add into this. Again, I just don't have the patience, and I'll probably mess something up and just waste more time. Pets of Warcraft. I have a BA in animation. Watching is fun. Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or if it's just fun to watch someone struggle, but thank you nonetheless. Appreciate it. Oh man, I'm happy to help, Killarts. Make your lunch a little bit better. Oh yeah, okay. So as far as that, I think I was doing a little bit playing around with it. As far as creating a let's try that. I want to show you guys something. Check this out. So I can create a regular shape, right? And this is pretty cool. I can put this into a group, and we'll just call this texture with without an E. Let's add an E there. And I can go into image, and I'm just going to say texture because my shading skills suck. So I'll just pretend I'm putting a texture on this box here. And then what I can do is I can pretty much, let's grab a cool color. So let's grab, what am I doing? Let's go this here, brush, grab the color, and let's pick, it's kind of hard to see. That's my little thing telling me what my color is. And I'm not really good at seeing those little boxes because I'm not quite trained as far as color goes. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to, whoops. Oh, it's pressure sensitive. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to apply. That's too thick. Let's go lower the opacity. I'm going to apply some texture to this box. Now think of this in any other circumstance, like if you were doing this to like a character or what have you. Okay, so there's some texture that I added to the box. If I now go to masking, I can mask, should be able to anyway. Maybe it's a display issue. Oh, great, that's a display issue. So I can then mask the texture into that box. So now here's something I can do a little bit better, actually animating in Moho itself instead of frame by frame. So I can then go into here, oops. Oh, I have what layer is this? Oh shoot, I should probably put that in separate layers. Grab that. Nope, that didn't work. Grab that. And I'll pull this out. And then we'll put that back in. And it came in a green color. Okay. What the heck? I don't know why it's green. Okay, so it's not. That's weird. What the heck? I don't really know what happened there. Let's see. This should be on the bottom though. Should be below. Wow, if Michael Scott was here, he'd be hearing all my that's what she said phrases that I've been saying. Holy cow, I've just been catching like all this stuff I've been saying. Any Office fans? I've been watching The Office lately. Okay, I don't know why the heck this is green though. This is kind of weird. So let's try this again. Oops. With red color there. Wow, it's green. Weird. Okay, that's new. Is it my advanced settings that's overriding something? Nope, it's not. I don't know what that is. Dang it. I don't know what's causing that to be green. So I'm gonna draw it outside of the thing, and let's see if it. Okay, so there's the color. That's right. I wonder if it's something that's being overridden with the texture. Huh. Because it doesn't even show up now. That's weird. Keep in mind that this is the first release for the trial or whatever. So okay, there we go. We got it back. So they may have some patches to patch in on day one. I have no idea. But yeah, I think that should be good now. All right, so let's go ahead and, whoops. Okay, we'll just erase the ball thing because that thing was a nightmare. And we'll just go back to our box here. Let's grab the move tool. Okay, cool. And I'm just gonna move that down. So do you see how it's moving with the box? Let's see, right there. So now I should be able to manipulate the box and the artwork inside of it. So if I wanted to create like a bounce with this box, this is gonna look kind of weird, but if I wanted to do that, I could just go to there, and then I'm gonna put this on step actually, so I don't have my in-betweens messing with my head. And then we can do, let's do this for this shape here. We'll have that shrink down. And we'll have it bounce up. And then we'll have it, probably need to zoom this out so we can get a little bit of more height there on that jump. Just copy those keyframes to frame 0. There we go. And let's move that way up higher. Let's reset the scale. Okay, and then we'll pull in our onion skin. So I actually use onion skin a lot. I don't know if anybody else does, but they are really handy when you're in a situation where you don't really know what's going on, where to put something. Now, having a jump like right in the middle isn't necessarily ideal, like as far as putting something in the middle there for a jump, but and then it's gonna go back down. So let's go ahead and let's create some more keyframes. Let's create our down position, and we're gonna have it go there, and then let's see, probably about there. I'm just messing with the spacing right now. I don't even know if this is gonna be correct until I can test this out a little bit better. So I can already tell you that that's off, so I need to bring that down, put an onion skin there so I can see what's going on. Okay. And let's put in some slow ins into that position there. We'll reset that. Whoops, I didn't want to reset that completely. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, it's quite the drop. So let's fix the spacing. Something like that. Okay, so what I'm trying to show actually isn't necessarily my animation, is the actual texture is staying, whoa, that's terrible. Could have saw that coming. Is the texture is animating with the actual object, which is pretty cool. Wow. So this would actually hold for a little bit more. Let's throw this on 2s. This will be easier to animate on 2s. So we'll do 1, 3, and this should be 7. And we'll put this on 11. We'll do that 13, we'll do 15, and then we'll just move these to 17 and 23. And then that. Oh, it's doing, why is it doing in-betweens on, oh, I'm still on ones, dang it. So these should be twos, they are twos. And then this would be on the ground. Oh, what the heck? My keyframes aren't changing, sorry. They're still on smooth, and I keep on thinking I'm selecting. Oh, wait, no, I am on smooth. Oh, okay. Whoops, I was mistaken. Yeah, so this would have more slow ins. Let's just hold that again. Let's pull that out, hold that. And we'll move that to 17. And that shouldn't be squashing down because I don't have a stretch. So let's add a stretch before that contact. Let's loop that. Let's take this off of step because I keep on putting that on step by accident. Okay, and then obviously you'd fix your timing on that. That's not great animation there. But that's just showing, so you can take any of your characters, your rigs, and add the bitmap textures to them as well. So this is something I'm going to experiment with after the stream. I'm already experimenting with it now because color points are just too unpredictable. And I've been trying to use color points for quite some time. I did a tutorial on it if you haven't seen it. It's just making your animations looking better. Make your animations look better with color points. And they just kind of are just too unpredictable. So I want to get better with bitmap. I want to get better with shading. I need to study lighting and things like that to understand all those different things a lot better. But that will be really cool. That'll be a really cool feature to have, to be able to add your own textures and things like that to your actual drawings. Okay, so I'm just going to run through the comments again here really quick. Let's move that over. So Kale Art says, I was talking with Mr. Kenway last night, and hopefully he'll be creating a tutorial on how to create vector shapes for character rigs and make those shape masks for bitmap layers. Okay, yeah, so I think I kind of did something like that. So you get that sharp contrast of the vector mixed with the best of the bitmap aesthetic. You thought of just using this for smears? Yeah, I thought I've been using that for smears too, and I was actually kind of in the process of setting a project up to do a tutorial for smears with vector, but that would be pretty cool with bitmap. I just don't have a steady hand, and I don't think I have a decent tablet to match my actual artwork. Even though with smears you can do some pretty crazy stuff. Pets of Warcraft says Bouncing Ball was the first animation I did in uni. Yep, that's pretty standard. That, or I think it was like the flower bag or something. You can change the brush type to multiply. Oh yeah, for sure. So I think that would, yeah, so I could change the normal to multiply, and that'll create a little bit of a nicer, well, I don't know if it did anything there, but yeah, you can definitely change your blending modes as well. Why haven't they fixed the viewport issues with rendering? I'm not entirely sure. I think, I don't know. Again, as far as the new developers, I mean, we have to cut them some slack, because as far as the new developers that came in, they're coming into a software completely, I wouldn't say completely unfamiliar with them, but think of how buggy Moho has been for so long. Even though like Anime Studio 11 was pretty solid, Anime Studio 12, when that launched with a ton of bugs, they didn't get fixed until 12.4. But there have always still been bugs that have just gone from one version to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, that never got fixed. So there's kind of a lot to go through. And like David was saying, I think it might be a more difficult task to handle whilst trying to push out new features. Because that's just been the thing. So I hope with this that they are able to focus in the life cycle of the software to really knock out the bugs, because I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen because now there's no poser, and poser was something that was part of uh, I don't know, the focus for Smith Micro, and that's just one less thing to focus on. So maybe they will have more time or a more dedicated team to knock out bugs specifically for Moho, which would be really nice. Um, let's see. Hide the last layer. Oh, okay, so maybe I had some weird layer or something that I wasn't paying attention to that was causing the color to turn green. I'm not sure what was going on there. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. This is just kind of showcasing how you can use the frame by frame tools from someone who does not do frame by frame animation. And I don't really prefer it, but I want to learn how to do it simply to help others to learn how to do it. And that's kind of like why I started teaching in the first place, is because I want to help other people. Um, and in the process, I'm learning how to help myself because I first have to learn it to be able to teach it and have to have experience with it to be able to have good results. So this has always been beneficial for me, having a YouTube channel and having folks like you that are on right now supporting me and those that are watching at a later time. It really goes a long way, and I really couldn't be where I'm at without you guys. It helps a lot because yeah, I mean, like Facebook groups, all that stuff, like having a community, like trying to do this solo would be extremely difficult. You need some sort of mentor. I've had a few. I've watched many courses, YouTube videos, whatever it may be, paid full courses. And yeah, so this has always been something that I've really enjoyed. And yeah, it's a lot of thanks to you guys that I've been able to continue to do it. Because yeah, a lot of you, excuse me, are able to support me. And if you want to check out courses that I offer, my link's there in the corner, store.mccoybuck.com. My specialty has definitely been rigging. My most popular course is the complete rigging course. You can find it on my website. But if you're looking at anything for animation and things like that, not this type of animation, but animating in Moho itself, I've also created animations and things like that that you can follow. I'm working on a walk cycle tutorial course where I teach you how to do a walk cycle like this guy here. But I do have a course already out if you want to learn how to do a run animation like this guy here. His hands are messed up, but that's not an actual video. So yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for watching Pets of Warcraft. It's good to have you. That's awesome that you just found me today. I hope I'm able to create more helpful tutorials if you're brand new to Moho or just for anybody. So again, thanks for your time, you guys. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of the weekend. We'll see you later.